Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Tuesday. It's May 6th. This will be our chart lesson for today. And real quickly, I just wanted to kind of give you an update. I haven't spoken directly to the doctor yet, but the nurse called and went over the results with me. Um, it looks like I have a couple of issues. No cancer. I'm cancer free. I don't have any cancer or anything like that. So praise God. Thank you for the prayers. I have a cyst on my liver. Um, but they think it's benign and no worries, and probably just going to ignore that. The other issue is I have two small hernias, um, one in my navel area and the other in my in, inguinal gland, I believe is how you say that. I'd never heard of that before now, but they said it's kind of common in men. So not sure how either one of them happened. It just happened recently. But I'll have to have probably some surgery to fix those two issues. But nothing major, no cancer. That's the main thing. We were worried that maybe I might have some issue with my liver, with cancer on my liver. But they're saying it's a benign cyst, and I think they're going to run some more tests just to be sure. And they're going to tell me what they think I should do about my two small hernias. Um, but anyway, thank you for the prayers. Thank you for all the emails. It's like a load off my mind knowing that I do not have cancer because I was a little concerned there for a little bit. Um, the doctor told me not to worry too much until we had the test, but I could see the concern in their face when they were talking about it as well. So it scared me a little bit. But anyway, that's enough about that. I probably am going to have to take some time off sometime soon for some minor surgery. But other than that, I'm healthy and I got a good clean bill of health, no cancer or anything like that. They were kind of worried about maybe I might have some prostate cancer as well there, but I'm all clear. So again, thanks for your prayers, thanks for the emails, thanks for all the well wishes. It's great knowing I got a lot of people out there supporting me and praying for me, and I really appreciate that. But let's get to the chart lesson. Enough about that. You can see we had a mostly up day. It was kind of a sideways day. And I don't know what happened after the close, but after the close, when the market reopened at 5, it shot up. So some kind of news has come out. I don't know what it is. I haven't had a chance to go look, and but I'm sure some of you have probably already seen the news. There had to have been something that maybe that affected the market like that. Some kind of, I would assume, positive news because it's really kind of strange for it to shoot up like that. So actually, I need to back up just a step there. This is today's candle. So we did close down today. You can see that that is today's candle, and this is for to borrow. So this is the big rocket up when the market opened. I don't know what happened. It looks like it's already backing off. Um, Not sure what's going on there, but we did trade down. This was mostly sideways, but we traded most of this down movement came in the overnight, and then we traded just kind of chopped sideways for the rest of the day. It was kind of up and down, up and down. And you'll see that when we flip over to the daily chart. So let's flip over there real quick. Okay, here's our 2000 tick chart for today. This new stuff is for tomorrow. Um, so we got an FOMC stuff coming out. So be flat by noon tomorrow, and don't enter the market until after that news settles down. It's already dropped off because it doesn't happen until tomorrow. But here's what we had today. We had a spike and channel up, and this channel didn't last very long. And then it had a break and a big move up, and then we sold all that off, and then up, and then sold all that off, and then whatever this was. I don't know what this was after at 5 o'clock when the market reopened. But we're mostly just mixed trading sideways. We're up and down, and we ended up closing almost on the lows. Uh, Although it was mostly mixed today. But let's zoom in here. We'll go through the trades and we'll wrap this day up. You can see the trend down, had the break, a couple of swings to a new low, and then looked like we were going to rally, and it made another push down, and then we bottomed out and kind of rallied out of there, but this petered out and we ended up trending down. And after the 2:30 hour, we sold off a little more. So 7 o'clock came just as we're kind of rallying back up here. We had the break, and we had a couple of legs down, so you'd think we might get, we might rally out of there, but we didn't. We got another second entry short right here. Basically, you got a triple top across there. I didn't draw the line, but let me draw that across there. You can see that this is actually even a lower high, but it's definitely a second entry short with a nice signal bar. You couldn't use that signal bar. It's not any good. That one to the left. You got a 2-bar matching high, so you could use either one of them. I like going short there. You got plenty of room to these lows. Then it bounces out of there. You don't really get a chance to go long here, but it tries to go higher 3 more times, and this breaks higher and fails and turns down. I don't think you want to enter that on the engulfing bar, and that's a really big bar, but that's really bearish. I think you just about have to take that trade when it tried to go higher 3 times there. Now you had your break and 3 attempts to go higher. It's a really big bar, 35 ticks, but I like that entry. So, and of course, we're moving down, close outside new low, and you really get a double bottom here. Again, you probably want to put your safety stop below this bar because it's a tick lower. But because of that 2-bar matching high, I still think you can take that trade. I marked it blue. It probably should be green. I'm going to change that to green. But your safety stop would still need to go 1 tick below that red bar. Didn't matter. You didn't get any heat at all on that trade. You were out real quickly, and then no runner either, and then it's taken off higher again. Now there is a reversal here. Technically, the failure came here. This was a failed second entry short as well, and you would have to wait on that bar to close as well. But this still looks like 2 legs up, so you might trade that as a reversal pattern, failed second entry reversal. I'm not super crazy about it because this thing looked like it was going to reverse several times and didn't. And trying to pick bottoms is the worst thing you can do. You're going to lose if you try to do that. So. But notice we got a trend. We're working up. We finally get a break. We get 2 legs back, but we're not quite back to the EMA. You might argue that's a triple test, but if you took that, you can see you're still in that channel down. Then you get a close outside and a new low, and now you got a sure triple test there. So I like going long on that one. And that's a quick, easy scalp. You probably don't get anything more out of it. There's another second entry long here. You get the break and new low. Notice the new high, first entry, second entry. But I don't think that signal bar quite qualifies. It's close, but that looks really congested, and that signal bar is not great. I would wait. And then you get almost a repeat pattern here. Again, you really got it kind of 3 times in a row there. But notice you're coming down, you close outside, and you attempt to make a new low, but that trend line's holding across there. But you get a first entry, then it turns back down. So when you break above that bar, that's a second entry long. I like that entry. And you could actually argue that there's multiple tests across here. And if you do that, you could take that trade right there. The reason you got that trend channel down, but with those multiple tests, I would say you're okay going long right here. That signal bar is not quite good enough on my chart. I posted a student trade today, and I think this was it right here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's it. And I think he entered here. He had a little, and that signal bar doesn't qualify, so you can't enter there. If you were going to enter, it has to be here. So I think that's the trade he entered on. You'll have to watch the video. But then notice we pull back, close outside, high or low, and a second entry long. This one you could enter on the engulfing bar. It broke lower and then turned up. Now, again, engulfing bars are for skilled traders that are profitable. If you're learning and trying to get profitable, don't trade these because you're just going to trip yourself up and lose money. So, but I like that entry, high or low, and second entry after bouncing off the trend line. I marked it green. But I think I think you're fine there. I marked it green because really you need to enter on that engulfing bar. I still think it closes in his upper 1/3, so you could enter either way. It's close to being blue. You could argue for it to be blue, but I marked it green. You get another second entry here, but I didn't like this one. Um, if you drew your uptrend channel here, I think you could argue for that trade because I think you're going to make a new high, and in that case, I'm going to at least give it a green. The problem was it looked like at that time that this was the highs, and so you couldn't be sure you weren't getting an overshoot there, but I don't think you were. I think the highs were way on up here. But you do break, you get your close outside, move to a new high, and then you're working lower. I didn't mark the lower high either. It's just enough room in there to scalp out, I think. I can't remember how much room was in there. It seemed like it was real close. Yeah, see, it's like 5 ticks, which it could bounce there again, but I still think you could take that trade. I'll mark it green. And then it looks like we're going to bounce here again, but you don't really get a setup, and then you get the break. And you're just chopping sideways. It breaks out, comes back. You do get a new low here after the break of the channel working down. But you also have a triple test there, and this closes back inside this little range here. So I like going long there. You may not can get in that one because it gaps over and takes off. That's a really nice setup. It's tempting to go long here as well, but I think that's moved too far for a high or low. The thing is, it closes back inside the trend line, and it's close to being in the upper 1/3. I'm not quite sure if it did make it in the upper 1/3. I mean, you can judge that yourself. It's close. I didn't like it in real time, so I'm not going to mark it. And this thing just takes off, and then suddenly it reverses, and you just don't get a chance to enter short. You wait on a lower high, and you don't get one, and it's quickly 2 legs down. And then there is a second entry here, but the signal bar is no good, and then you get the break, and you make a new high, but there's no setup there either. And then we get a trend working up. I don't see any chance to get long, and then you get a close outside new high, and then we're going lower again. I just don't see anything on any of those that I'd want to enter. And we finally bottom out here and start working higher. But again, I don't see anything there. This is all choppy sideways stuff. You finally start to get you actually get a confirmation of the trend line here. Notice you're working down, close outside, new low. That's a second entry long. New high, first entry, second entry, right at the key entry point. So I like that one. It's a pretty good trade. Comes back, and then you get a triple test, and you call that a triple test high or low with another nice signal bar, and off it goes again, and that takes you into 230. So it's kind of an oddball day. Looking back at this, there's probably a trend line here, trend channel here as well. It's like a spike and channel down, and you do get a close outside and never get a new low, and maybe that's why we came back here to give you that retest. And then again, I don't know what this is up here. There's got to be something that's happened here after the market closed, and so the market took off at the reopen. But there it is. Again, most of the day was choppy sideways stuff. I'd almost call this a range day. Other than this one little move here, we never traded outside of the overnight highs and lows, and that usually indicates a range day. So I think this is just a sideways day that closed on its, actually maybe it made a new low. Let's look across there. It didn't close on a new low, but I think it made one there. So I think you just call this a range day. Just a mixed trading day. And I don't know what this is going to be. We'll see. Maybe nothing. Maybe there's something had to have caused that, I'm sure. That's just not normal at 5 o'clock. So something had to have caused that. I'll go look here in a minute at the news and see if I see anything. But there it is. It's kind of a mixed bag as far as trades. You had a few in here, and there's several green, but there was really nothing here, and it's just not a great trading day. There really wasn't anything going on. we're kind of overbought now, but the market doesn't really seem to want to sell off. Just like when we were really oversold, it didn't seem to want to find a bottom, but it finally did, and now it doesn't seem to want to stop trying to move higher. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I do have my appointment tomorrow, but it shouldn't affect anything tomorrow. I'm coming in. My appointment's not till 10:45, so we'll come in the morning at 7 o'clock, do my usual thing, put the mid-morning chart up, and I should be out in plenty of time to come back and do an afternoon chart lesson. So I don't plan on missing anything tomorrow, other than I'll be out for a little bit during the middle of the day. So anyway, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, with no issues, and hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.